So in the last couple of weeks, we've developed a quite unique, I believe, YouTube follow-up process that allows us not only to actually get more conversions from the efforts that we make on our cold prospecting, specifically on cold email, but has also allowed us to nurture the existing leads and making sure that we can save most of the prospects that we hop on calls with that may, for whatever reason, not close, so that later on they actually become customers. I basically want to go over a simple Miro board that is going to show you how that process looks, how you can apply it, and most importantly, why this is something that you should start doing right now, even if you don't have an existing YouTube channel, or given that you have a YouTube channel, that your YouTube channel is not that big. Of course, I have a super small YouTube channel, but the important thing is that right now the focus should not be, when it comes to this strategy, you focus not that much on actually using YouTube to get more leads, but using YouTube to nurture the leads that you currently have from your cold prospecting. YouTube is a long-term game, so later on, maybe, I hope that we can start getting customers exclusively just from the YouTube channel and from the audience that we grow. But for the time being, what we like to do is use YouTube just as a warm-up system to make sure that we get more calls and more deals, okay? The document that we'll go over in the Miro board, you can get it using the link in the description. Plus, remember, you can join our Facebook group where you're going to have access to all of the documents. You're going to be able to ask questions, we're going to be able to engage and basically join a community of more than 1,300 people. That being said, guys, let's hop to a computer and let's get started right away. So here's the thing, guys. I wanted you guys to take a look at our current calendar for one reason only. And of course, this is not like we have a whole bunch of meetings and that we are already plagued with calls. What I want you guys to look at is the fact that we use cold outreach in order to book calls, and most of our time is allocated at booking calls, closing deals, and trying to make business. We're not using YouTube just like to fuel lead generation or something like that. We use it mostly for lead nurturing. Actually, you're going to see here in a second our entire outreach process and how we leverage YouTube. But we also want to let you guys know how, by still doing this process, we're able to use YouTube exclusively for the lead nurture process as a whole. But that being said, I wanted to paint this picture over here so that you can see, like, in comparison, the small amount of time that YouTube takes per week in comparison to being on sales calls, plus everything that is not being on a sales call is pretty much just outreach, right? So this is how it looks like. So now the outreach process that we use is the following. We launch cold email campaigns. We use instantly.ai. I have used this software and showed you guys how we use it on other videos. I will leave the link over here. But typically we launch cold email campaigns, giving people that we launch the campaign to access to a specific lead hook. We might say something like, hey, here we have a lead list that you can use for your specific industry. Do you want me to drop it here for you or not? And boom, that's pretty much all we do. So we run a campaign. Once we run a campaign, a certain amount of people are going to reply. And once these people reply, here's the thing, of course, the first thing we want to do is add people to the CRM. I've talked about in the previous videos a lot about this specific metric, that people added to the CRM is the single most important factor. You will see why in a second once we start talking about these things over here. But we add people to the CRM. Once we add people to the CRM, we deliver the asset and pitch the sales call, okay? Now, here's the thing, guys. We say deliver asset because sometimes it may be a lead list that we offer in the cold email campaigns that we launch. Sometimes it will be that we're going to connect them with somebody specifically. We might have a client that can be a referral for them. So we deliver the asset and pitch the sales call, okay? And by the way, guys, remember, when you are doing cold email or any sort of cold prospecting, you want to go from step 1 to step 2, from step 2 to step 3. The problem is that most people want to go from a lead reply all the way to immediately having the sales call booked in their calendar, right? When in reality, it should be like, hey, here's the lead magnet that I promised, or here's the thing that I said. It could be, for example, I don't know, the lead list like I was saying. It could be even a YouTube video that you created. It could be an asset that you are going to use as a lead magnet for the campaign. So again, you just want to give value first so that people reply. And once they show interest, you deliver the thing. And then you say, hey, by the way, this is what we do. Is it worth it to hop on a call? Let me know. Of course, at that point, you already added them to the CRM, so you can keep following up with them manually. If the person booked a call, you want to initiate the warm-up process. That warm-up process is something that we'll cover in a separate video, but of course, if the call was booked, I mean, you just attend the call, and what you can do is that between the calls, you send them another specific YouTube video that you made about how to solve a specific problem that these people in the initial call that you had with them told you that they have, so that the actual second call is going to be easier. I know that that might have been a little bit more confusing than it had to, but I hope that you understood. So that would be it if you already booked a call. Assuming that the person didn't book a call, once you send them the asset and you invited them to a call, you start to do the follow-ups. And of course, the follow-ups are going to be done exclusively with the people that you added to the CRM, aka the people that showed interest to your campaigns, right? This applies even if you're not using Instantly or if you're not using any cold email software. This works in general. Cold calls, it could be for social media DMs or whatever it might be, okay? If they don't book a call, we start following up. And what we do is that now that we have them in the CRM, we might add the contact link from Twitter, from LinkedIn, from Instagram. We honestly don't use Instagram that much, but whatever platform you have leverage in, you can reach out to them. And of course, the big thing that we aim to do from the follow-up that we do is send YouTube videos, okay? So an actual example from a lead that I was talking with yesterday, you can see Wednesday, December 14th, today is Thursday, December 15th. When I do my follow-ups, I just start saying things like, hey, just making sure that this doesn't get buried, haha. By the way, thought that it could be helpful to drop this video where I explain how we use cold email and cold calling to book qualified sales meetings. And of course, I leave the link to the YouTube video inside of the email. And I say, let me know your thoughts, Enrique. From these approaches, a lot of people are going to start replying because they started going like, oh, wow, it's so cool that you are having a YouTube channel. I love the fact that you're publishing content. I guess, of course, it's not the case because I don't have a super big audience, but if I had a lot of followers and subscribers, people would be like, wow, incredible. Like, I didn't know that I was talking to a person that was famous or whatever it might be, right? And that's powerful because people like to do connections and be connected with people that demonstrate some sort of authority in some way, shape, or form, right? That being said, of course, the actual YouTube videos push my viewers to my Facebook group. So from the YouTube videos that they start consuming, they're most likely to book a call, which is the actual goal. But in case that they don't, they might join the Facebook group. So they are going to stay in your world a little bit more time. So they might be consuming my actual posts. They are going to see that there are other testimonials outside of the actual website, etc. So this is a little bit on how that process looks like. YouTube is something that we leverage in the follow-up process in order to make sure that people get more into our world, and most importantly, that they start to feel that there is more value outside of just hopping to the call. Because of course, if the actual YouTube videos demonstrate authority, case studies, whatever it may be, things are going to be way more powerful, okay? So that's how we leverage YouTube in our outreach process. And I promise you guys that if you use YouTube in this way, specifically, and you start creating content about how to solve problems that your prospect giving you on the sales calls, and even better, if you can handle objections in your YouTube videos, things are going to get way easier. Now, the second way in which we use YouTube inside of our nurturing process and outreach process is just by repurposing content. So, of course, we are going to have our audience on Facebook, not only Facebook from my personal profile, but also, of course, from the group. Twitter, we're going to be on LinkedIn, we're going to be on Instagram. But instead of having to create separate pieces of content that every single time I have to create and repurpose for a specifically social media platform, all I have to do is honestly just focus on creating YouTube videos. And once I publish them, pretty much repurpose them and reshare them. I think that reshare is a better suited word in here, so that people can see them in Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or on Instagram, okay? Honestly, on Instagram, I literally just use it like for personal stuff, but if you have Instagram or if you have TikTok, whatever it might be, you can just repurpose your YouTube content. And as a creator and as a business owner, honestly, I prefer just to have one single source of content that I focus exclusively on, and from there, everything else is just like a repurposing and resharing process, okay? So the beauty is that over here, you're improving and maximizing the conversions from your cold prospecting using YouTube. And over here, by literally not doing anything else, you are just having your exact YouTube videos, nurturing the people that were once here, or simply pushing people that were maybe a little bit colder, now being a little bit more ready to buy. That's a little bit on our process, just as an actual example, so that you can see how we typically do it. If you come to our LinkedIn profile, for example, you can see that all I do is pretty much grab the description that I make for our YouTube videos, and I say I will leave the link in the comment section so that you can go and watch the videos. That's all there is to it. There are no magical formulas, no weird things that were unexpected. Honestly, YouTube is a great platform that everybody should be on. I always like to say that the only regret that I have is not that I started sooner. So make sure that you start publishing content and leveraging, most importantly, in the campaigns that you launch or in the follow-up process. And that being said, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys would like me to cover on separate videos. If you like this content, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, you can join our private Facebook group community where I answer any questions you might have in regards to marketing, sales, or even fulfillment. So feel free to join. I will be also hosting really soon an entire free course on how to create offers, get customers, deliver results, etc. so that everything is way easier for you guys. That being said, see you guys in the next one, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Bye-bye.